Alright, here's a couple little hints on, I guess, little helpful video I wanted to make about how to set up an Aquasure little Premier series or any kind of reverse osmosis little water system here in a kitchen. I'm just hooking this up. Drilled a hole here in the countertop, which I pre-measured. Some little tips is like get some cheap tape, measure out where you want to have your hole at, and then with plumber's putty, this stuff right here, you just buy it at the hardware store, plumber's putty. You can make yourself one of these little volcanoes out of the plumber's putty and fill it full of water. Just take a cup full of water, pour it in there, and now you will have water, and the water will be clear, so you'll see where your mark is, where you wanted to make your hole. For this little outlet here for the system. What I picked up here is a little 1/2 inch Diamond Max bit, cut through this granite really well. Granite, marble, should work great in about anything. Just take your time drilling, but this little bit here worked great. Didn't take but a few minutes. Just drill easy. That little bit of water that I put in there is all it took. And then all of it leaked out. Just put a bucket down there below just to catch. You know, it isn't a whole lot of mess. You know, when these little chunks broke off. That's what it looks like when you cut it. That's it, really. I mean, that's how to make at least the hole. And then the instructions will cover all the wires to hook up for this kit. It's pretty simple, really. It's not much to it. You're basically going to have your cold water coming into this white line here. This is going to feed the system. So your cold water, you'll tap in, and it comes with the little valves. Let me grab these little valves here. And so you'll have like a little T valve here. This will tee into your cold water supply. And then these cool little one-way fittings here for these flex lines. These little thin PVC. These go into these little pressure fittings. You just push them in all the way till they're seated, and then you pull back, and it's like a kind of like a French cuff. The way that these just lock. So this will be the main cold water on and off valve. And after that, it's going to flow into this line here, go through here. On the back of this system, there is these like 4 different lines. So your white here is going to be this main line coming in. Yeah, the black line is going to be like a waste for whatever extra pressure or something. So then you have a little T line here that will tap into the drain line, which I'm going to hook into like right here, horizontal. Here it gets larger in size, so this one's nice and straight, so I'm probably going to just tap into there. You just drill a 1/4 inch hole and put that clamp around it. Pretty easy. Then, let's see, I already drilled my hole. See, so that fits perfectly. So that's going to go down inside of there. Once I clean that up, it also has this little, this is actually what you'll see on the counter. The other lines here, one of these blue lines is going to go to this tank, which also has a little, one of these pressure fittings too. So one of the blue lines is going to go into here, and you'll turn this on. And then the final other blue line will then go to this here. And that will attach with this, another quick line. So once you mount this, you're going to have this little guy here, which is going to be mounted to the sink. And then there's also a couple of rubber grommet, a washer, and then a nut that will all secure this together. And so you'll have this whole thing, and then however many threads this takes to tighten up through the nut. And you'll finally thread this on with some tape. Once you thread that on there, you will hook up your final blue line. It'll be like the out, so it'll be like this line here. This blue line, wherever that comes out, whatever one of these two it is, will then finally connect to here. So, and then there's a few steps on how to flush the system and set it up. This is something like it may take 2 to 3 hours to fill this tank. Apparently it takes a long time to fill that tank, and then once that's full, then you can continue on with flushing out and filling up all of these reservoirs, these filters. And anyways, just thought I'd cover that and how to at least drill out this hole, because that's probably something people are afraid of, and it was actually quite easy. It took me 5 minutes to drill this little hole out into this countertop. So I got a nice clean hole. And don't worry about being a little sloppy with it, because you have this huge thing here to cover up the hole. So just put some tape down, and that's it. Yeah, hook it all up, and you'll have yourself a nice reverse osmosis water system. Hopefully this won't take me another, but I don't know, hour to hook all these lines. There's plenty of line to hook up, and then just cut them as you need to. All right.